Hello everyone, you're welcome to the Controversies. Today we'll be looking at whether it's proper for a man to kneel down while proposing for a lady or for the man to remain standing while proposing to his lady.
When I talked about the idea of kneeling down to propose to a girl, and I said it's not in our character, it's not in our culture, a lot of people thanked me for it. A lot of girls just thought I was old-fashioned. They wanted to subdue their husbands first before they get into the house. If your husband gets down on his knee to give you a ring, what it means in our own culture, he has surrendered headship to you. That's what it means. The headship of the family has been surrendered to you. Let us borrow from the people whose custom it is. All our young men who took their wives to either England or America, the moment they have a small disagreement, they are kicked out of the house. The woman owns the house. The man still starts to work to sustain the family from outside. If he must visit his family, he must require some police people to join him. This is what our girls want to see happen to them. Don't let God who created you curse you. Don't.
This has actually become a norm, but in the recent time, there have been a lot of voices against it. We're Africans, and it's actually alien to our tradition when you talk about proposing to a woman. Now, most of the African culture is not, I don't say it's not proper, but it's abnormal for you to kneel down to propose to a woman.
And you know the funny thing? The thing there is this. Most people do not even know the originality of this aspect of marriage proposal, whereby a man has to kneel down before a lady in order to get the lady's consent. Now, this started with a knight or knights in Europe. Now, they had this culture whereby they had to bow before women that they consider to be noble. Now, here in Africa and the rest of the world, we adopted that aspect of their culture without even finding out if it is proper or if it is within the confines of our culture. Now, everybody feels you must do it this way. It must be in this manner. It must be in this form.
Kneeling down to ask for a woman's consent when you want to get married to the person, I don't think, to some extent, it's actually alien to our culture, but I don't think it's a bad idea.
I feel it is a bad idea.
Why is it bad? Because I've listened to a lot of people from the Igbo thoughts, people like Pete Edochie, people who have strong voices on the traditions of, let me say, the evolving Igbo tradition, and they are mostly against it.
Are you married?
No, I'm not married yet.
Are you in a relationship?
Yes, I think so.
Do you intend getting married?
Yeah.
So you don't find anything wrong? You don't see anything wrong with it, right?
No, it's not as if it's. I can agree with that. That is not alien to our culture.
So let me ask you: when you want to get married, will you go on your knees for her?
I don't think so. But people who do it, I don't think I'm going to go on my knees for her. But I don't also think that people who do it are actually doing something terrible.
Okay, let me ask you again.
People
why wouldn't you go on your knees for her?
No, I don't think there is need for that. But some people also believe that there is need for it, like kind of adoring the woman. And
now, I've seen people that knelt down and proposed to their wives. After 2 years of marriage, they are hitting the woman. Some even went on to divorce. Now, see, I just feel that this thing should be this way. Now, if you are getting married or if you want to get married to a lady, I don't see reasons in kneeling down to propose to her. It has no religious or spiritual connection or anything. But this is the way I see it simply. Now, kneeling down to propose to a lady is just like when you see a king or when you come before a king kneels down before you. I feel it should be the other way around. I think it should be the lady kneeling down for the man, not the man kneeling down for the lady. Now I see, and when it comes to bowing and kneeling down, they all have this similitude of respect. It's a way of showing respect when you bow or you kneel. And that's why in Igbo culture, during the traditional marriage, when a lady wants to marry, or when a lady is looking for her husband, they will give you this cup with palm wine. Then when you find your husband, you have to kneel down and then present that wine before your husband.
Those things are actually not called Igbo culture. This is a ephemeral part of the whole thing, because in the actual consecration of the main ritual that happens during the marriage, it's actually the dowry that confers legitimacy of husband and wife.
Yes. Those ones,
most of those ones are presenting wine and all those things are
is the
just
ceremonial aspect
of it.
But then again, that ceremonial aspect shows kinship, and then I believe is the woman trying to show submission. Now, mind you, it shouldn't be the other way. We are not saying that I'm not saying that men should not be submissive or should not submit themselves to their wives. But at the end of the day, you proposing to a woman and you are kneeling down, it's just like saying, okay, I've given everything to you. I'm submitting myself to you. You are the king in this house. And
that's how some people interpret it. But in the whole thing, women, I don't think women see it like when you need, I think sometimes just see it as a kind of respect or sign of love. But I don't think it's a sign of love to me. But the way women view it is not like when you kneel down, you've submitted your authority to them. I don't think that's the
way they see it.
That's the way women see it.
That's the way they see it. Now, that's why most people will tell you. For instance, I was looking up something online. Some of them said, if he does not kneel down, I won't marry. Now, you can imagine.
I think there's a woman who can go to that extreme of saying, if you don't kneel down to propose to them.
This was why Pete Edochie said something. He said he believes that a man should never kneel down while proposing to a woman. He said any man, any young person that does such is a fool. Or I think he even put it this way, is more than a fool.
The issue of marriage is not something that somebody has to be begged. Maybe somebody is pleading with you to marry him or her. It should be a 50-50 kind of thing. Sure. Because even for the woman or the man kneeling down, no, I think this is something that both of you should agree on. The man looks at a woman he likes and approaches her. You ask her first. You understand? If she agrees to marry you, then you proceed to the normal thing, to the necessary things for the marriage to happen. But I don't think even both the guy and the girl kneeling down for another person doesn't make any sense to me.
And at the end of the day, it does not guarantee
successful marriage or whether somebody loves you or not.
Exactly. So someone can kneel down and propose to you, and that same day he's with another girl.
Yes.
After the ceremony and all, he goes back to his side chick or something. The same thing for the lady that cries while collecting the ring. Next thing she's crying, and then after like 5 hours, she just removes the ring and visits the second boyfriend. Now, this is another thing. Must you always give a ring to a lady to signify an engagement?
You see, somehow, let me say, if you look at the society, it could also be a sign that somebody is married, to signify that somebody is married and all those kinds of, like a sign that shows that somebody is married. But in the other way around, it does not in any way connote that the person will be faithful to you or not.
Do you know that apart from your ring, your attitude can show you are taking? And this is what most young ladies lack. Now, the ring does not make you
faithful.
No. The ring does not actually mean you are taking. I don't know if you are following, because most times you will see people with rings on their fingers now exhibiting mixed emotions. When people look at them, they can't even interpret
whether they are married or not.
Yeah,
but most men who have respect, most real men who have respect for matrimony, whenever you sight a woman with a ring, the kind of respect you accord to that woman, especially in the African culture. You understand? If you are maybe somebody looking for a wife and you look at somebody with a ring, that person is off the list.
That you are wearing a ring or you have a ring on your finger it does not stop me from asking you out.
Yes, so,
Your
no,
actions,
I don't
if
think.
your actions are questionable, because now young ladies go about wearing rings,
Yeah, some people who don't even
whether
want.
they are married or not.
No, some who don't want, like some people who have very good appearance, they don't want disturbance a lot.
Exactly.
They just put on the wedding ring.
Exactly. I have friends that do it, and
And you see that it helps them most times because they don't want people to just be asking them out.
it doesn't. I know of a friend that got married to a lady that wears ring. Now, let me put it this way.
Okay, she was wearing a ring before she got married.
Yes.
She wears wedding ring.
He said when he met the lady,
She was wearing wedding ring.
she was wearing a wedding ring. But according to him, the lady was actually exhibiting a different, an opposite behavior or a contradictory behavior
So like
of
married.
someone that is married. Now, according to him, when I asked him, what do you mean? What were the signs you saw? He said the lady was just smiling when he started talking to her. And then he was like, is this seat taken? The lady said no. And then next thing, can I have your number? Although according to him, he said while talking, the lady was still showing him her fingers. So he could see the ring. But he said something in him told him that this lady is not married. That this is just a way of warding off guys.
Right, okay.
At the end of the day, both of them are married. Still married. Their marriage is up to 3 years now. So most guys will tell you that a lady puts on a ring on her finger does not necessarily mean she's taken. Now people read the actions more. A lady's action. Now, for instance, in certain scenarios, you will find married people that are married, but what's it called? They have rings, and you know this person is married, but their actions has a contradictory picture or a contradictory understanding. And then you are like, okay, is this lady really married?
Married, okay.
And then maybe when you ask around, they'll be like, she's the mother of so and so.
You know, this thing you're discussing about ring now, it points to a lot of, because some people, do you know that issue of wearing and not wearing can most times lead to divorce?
Now,
Because some ladies see their husband, like when the husband don't like wearing rings, they see that, this guy is a thorough womanizer. Because most ladies wouldn't want to date, like some ladies who have respect for themselves wouldn't want to date a man who is married because you're wasting your time with this person.
Yeah.
The same to some guys. Some guys who have respect for themselves, whenever they see a woman who is married, that's just a no go area for that person. But some men are also, they also have anointing for marriage. There are some people who are really
Yes,
anointed
yes.
in actually disturbing married people.
once they know you are married, that's what motivates them.
Yes.
I still remember my sister was telling a story, one of her lecturers back then, that the man saw her and said, hey, you are very beautiful. I know that your mom must be this beautiful or even more than you. You know now. The man looked at her and was like, if you are this beautiful, that means your mom should be like times 2 or something. And the man was like, can I have your mother's phone number? Like, this is a real life story. I'm not joking. This is like a real life story. And she was like, what for? The man said he likes married women. Like, he was just playing. And I've heard stories of people telling you that they love women that are pregnant. So people have weird tastes. Now, I just feel that all these things, it boils down on how a person comports herself or carries herself. Because most times, men will just give you that ring to just tie you down. And then at the end of the day, they will be doing their things. Because if you look at the rate of people that wear wedding bands and all, you will discover that it's more on the side of the women than on the men.
Yes.
Men, they don't even care. They will just wake up one morning and they'll tell you, baby, I have lost my ring. And that's the end.
And then they can stay without wearing ring for as long as they're on this earth. But I don't think ring means nothing to me because marriage is about commitment. If even people who want to cheat will also cheat, even if they are with the wedding ring. So some people can just hide their wedding ring. They will leave their house with the wedding ring and then put it inside their bag and do whatever they want to do. So
some won't even hide it. Some with the wedding ring, they've killed their conscience.
yes, so
They are still going to do what they want to do.
they can be with the ring and do whatever thing they want to do. So
So it's not about
Wedding
rings.
ring.
I feel that Africans, we should remove this attachment we have towards rings.